oh my God, imagine not working on a Monday. How amazing would that be? Long weekend every weekend. Cool, you can absolutely create that in your life. You can build that schedule. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I teach you how to get more done and reclaim your time as a content creator. My name's Kate and I'm really happy to have you here. So in last week's video, I went through the 6 worst mistakes you can make when planning your week as a content creator. Spoiler alert, those were based on my personal mistakes. So, and if you haven't seen that video yet, hit the card in the top right of the screen right now and you can watch it there. So that's what not to do, but what do I do? What do I do? Because if you're here and you're a content or course creator, you know that this work never ends. Like there's always something to do. There's an unlimited amount of posts that you can put up on social media. There's an unlimited amount of engagement that you can do on your social media accounts with other people to grow your account and build relationships and all of this stuff. Like the work is never really done. Basically, you've got to reverse engineer this. You can't work towards your ideal work week or your dream schedule without knowing what that ideal work week is going to look like. What days would you work? What times would you start work? What times would you finish? Would you have gaps in the day? Would there be days where you take completely off? Like all of these things as if everything was exactly how you wanted it, like an absolute dream. And that's what I want to walk you through today. Okay, so as you can see, I'm in my Google Calendar here. Woo, pushing it for getting this video done, but okay. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna deselect all of the calendars that I'm subscribed to. Some of them were personal ones, some of them were work-related ones, or just part of investments that I'm in, like memberships and whatnot. So now I've got a blank calendar, right? What I'm gonna do now is add other calendars, create new calendar, and I'm gonna name this Ideal Work Week. I'm typing with one hand here, so, work week. Create calendar. Okay, successfully created. All right, so now I go back in here and we've got this. You can actually completely change the color to whatever you want here. You know what, let's make it a little bit. Okay, let's leave it like that. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. But now you can go in, you've got this beautiful blank canvas. You can create what you want your work week to look like. So starting with off days, just know in your head, like you're not gonna, you can put it in like no work today or whatever. I know for me, in an ideal world, I'm gonna have at least 2 days off anyway. I'm gonna pick Wednesday and Sunday. You know what, you can do a full all day, no work. Oh, no work, right. Okay, so I know that there's no work on this day. I also know no work on Sundays. Again, I'll go all day. Cool, so now I know when I'm going to plan my ideal week. I've got Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday to play with. Now we can move into our on days. What do we want those days to look like? For me, I already know Saturdays, for some reason, I just feel like this different level of inspiration on Saturdays. So I love doing inspired work. It's usually creative work of some kind. So I'm going to pick like, let's say, I'll give myself a little bit of allowance to start at like 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. creative work. Cool. Outside of that, I can do whatever the hell I want. I'm not working, okay? And I'm not doing a whole thing where I put in like my lunch times and my dinner times. I'm just gonna go like from start to finish what the day actually looks like. Okay, so I know for me, I am more than happy to work a long day on a Monday because I actually get a lot of excitement out of Mondays. I quite enjoy them, not gonna lie. So let's say I start, like I normally, to be honest, I'm happy to wake up between 5 and 6 a.m. Like I actually enjoy that. I'm a morning person, so if I do that, give myself enough time for a little morning routine, let's just say start work at 7 a.m. and I can go all the way through to, like, to be honest, 5 p.m. Mondays are when my excitement is highest. So again, when you're doing this, you get to tap into what you know works best for you and what you know fits with your desires. I know there's a lot of people out there who hate Mondays and they're like, oh my God, imagine not working on a Monday. How amazing would that be? Long weekend every weekend. Cool. You can absolutely create that in your life. You can build that schedule. Just know that that's what you're working towards. Tuesday, again, I'm just going to put my start times at like 7 a.m. But this time I'm going to go till 2 p.m. I'm going to say work day. Wednesday I'm off. And then Thursday we can do the same. Friday we can do the same. We could even do a little shorter. Let's say 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. Okay, so now I'm looking at like all of the work that I want to get done in the week must fall within these boundaries. Without going into the details of what's included in all these just yet, just think about this now. When you go to plan your week on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, let's say I've got all of these, woo, that looks a bit intense now, but it's not always going to look that intense. But let's say I've got all these other things in there, and bear in mind, this looks crazy busy, but it's actually a lot of like all these peachy colors are like relax time with my boyfriend, self-care evening. I've also got my workouts in here, over here, workout, you know, so it's not, it looks busy, but it's not all work. But when I do go to plan my week, I can see where that lovely purpley color is and make sure that I don't put anything outside of that, or at least do my best to do that, right? So it's so easy to see, is this aligned with my ideal work week? If you could work as little as you want, or at whatever times a day, like I know my brother, he's a night owl. He gets his best work done after like 8 or 9 p.m. and he works into like 2 a.m. You will never see me doing that, right? Or at least not anymore. If you saw last week's video, a couple of years ago, my schedule looked very, very, very different. Also, you can put these in, actually I should have done this when I put it in first, but for each one, put it in as a recurring thing so that when you go to plan your week next week, or like each week, they're already in there. You don't have to keep creating it. So like I've just done it for Monday and Tuesday there. So like, right, they're already in there. Okay. So I'm just going to update that for all of these repeats. There's another reason that I'm not going to just put them all like recurring on Tuesday and Thursday and recurring on Monday and Friday, because I'm going to name them different things now. Oh, fuck. What did I just do? Oh, I put it in every day. Right, see? That's what we don't want to do. No, not daily. Weekly. Okay. All events. Lovely. Right, that freaked me out for a second. Next year, my boyfriend and I are planning on moving to Spain in 2024. So we could say like, oh, we're gonna drive to Barcelona for the weekend. Right, then I can delete this. Like, there's no big deal. It's not like, oh, well, that's not part of my ideal work week, so I guess I can't do it. No, like the whole point is this moves as you want it to move, and you get to create it in whatever way you want. Last but not least, let's look at categories. Again, depending on your business, this is going to look completely different for every person. Let's say a Monday is like content creation day. That doesn't mean you can't do anything that isn't content creation, but what it does mean is that's the main focus for that day. So all of the content creation work goes in there. Let's say Tuesday, you say you take calls on Tuesdays. So calls a day or whatever, calls / Zoom / whatever way that looks for you. Cool. I know creative work is on Saturday. That could be anything. That could be content creation. That could be product creation. That's like just whatever I'm inspired to do. Thursday, tech / back end. Is that the right? That sounds a dodgy, but like you're, on the business side of things, like you're looking at your website, how things are running, if you have funnels, your emails, you can cover all of those tasks in there, and then whatever you want Friday to be. Like, these are obviously examples. It will look completely different for each person, but it does give you a pretty good idea of like, okay, in an ideal world, this is what it would look like. If right now you're working a full-time job or even a part-time job and you're running your business, then yeah, maybe it's going to be tough to slash your working hours in half, like just like that. Okay, but it's something that at least you can see what you're working towards and what it's going to look like when it happens. But it's not an if, it's a when. And you can gradually build towards this. How do we do that? How do we gradually reduce our hours over time? Systems. When I say systems, there are 8 categories that systems could fall into: automation, software, get rid, reduce hours, template, SOP, AI, or time blocking / batching. Those are just the categories that you can use to help you take the workload away from yourself. So those systems, you'll build them over time. Let's just say like creating a template. Like maybe it takes you forever to create Instagram carousel posts. Okay, maybe you're going to have a template or a bunch of templates that make the content creation process easier on you every single time and make it cost you less time. That is the ultimate goal of systems. So there's a million different ways that you can use systems in your business. I'm just giving them as examples right now. I will be posting a lot more about this kind of stuff as these weeks and months go on. But that's what we do, and we can see what we're working towards every single week when we plan, even if we're nowhere near that right now. Because like, yes, I might not be anywhere near that right. Well, I'm actually not that far off, because that's a bit of work. That's a bit of work. That's not work. That's not work. Yes, I do work on Wednesdays, but I have a morning shift that day, so it's kind of pretty chill. Then I do a workout, I come home, I shower, lunch, then it's 3 p.m. And actually this week I'll be driving over to my boyfriend's, and then I'll be spending time with my boyfriend. So there isn't any work within my business on a Wednesday, at least this week. Okay, except a post. This is not like my perfect week. Like, I'm gonna edit this outside. These are just examples. But what I will say is you'd be very surprised how quickly you could end up with a work week like this. And it could be like, if your work week is like, I want to work from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Monday to Friday, and that's it, you can make that work too. That's what, 15 hours? That is like literally what we work towards in my brand. Like, that's what we help you to work towards, and I'm working towards that kind of schedule myself. But what I have to say is, if you really want to make this work and you want to work less hours, you probably can make a huge jump towards that pretty quickly. And the reason I say that is I spent the month of April in Spain with my boyfriend Patrick, and do you think that I wanted to spend 8 hours a day working? We were going to the spa, we were going for happy hour in the afternoons, we were going for lunch in the middle of the day, we were going to the beach. There was so much to do, and I was like, I don't want to come back from this trip and look back and what are my biggest memories sitting behind a desk all day. Like, that wasn't the goal for that. So I worked between 1 hour and 4 hours a day while we were over there, and that's on the days that I did work, and I didn't work every day. And I thought that I was gonna literally get nothing done, but it made sure that I was spending my on time well, that I was prioritizing properly, and that I wasn't wasting so much time on unnecessary things or shiny objects. So if you want to make this work, you've got to just be firm. Also, I didn't want him to miss out on the opportunity and the adventure of living in Spain for a month. We planned on that adventure together. It would have been a bit shit of me as a girlfriend to let him go for lunch by himself, go for dinner by himself, and go to the spa by himself and do everything on his own when I was behind a desk. Like, that's not the vision that we had for that trip. I cracked the 4 hour workday, like 4 hour max workday. Let that just seep in, that this is possible. You don't have to work 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours, 70 hours plus. And if you are right now working those kind of hours, know that it doesn't have to be like that. And gradually over time, you will build systems, or at least I would recommend that you build systems to take off that workload from you so that you can actually live your life and be a human outside of your work. Okay, so I'll let that thought linger in your mind. Now you have your ideal work week template. You can literally put that right up against what your week looks like right now and just use it as the goalpost for what you're creating. If you enjoyed this video and you want to dive into more creating systems that drastically reduce your workload as a content creator, I know you'll absolutely love this video that I did about how to use AI as a content creator to get more done in less time. That one, actually there's 2 of them, but watch this one first that's on the screen now. And don't forget to subscribe here and follow on Instagram at MoreToLifeKate. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in next week's video.